Beneath Egypt's sands or the Mediterranean's depths lies one of history's greatest mysteries, the lost tomb of Cleopatra VII, the last pharaoh of Egypt. For over 2 millennia, her final resting place has eluded discovery, fueling endless fascination. The search is not just for treasure, but for the truth behind a queen whose legend outshone her conquerors' attempts to erase her. Today, archaeologists armed with cutting-edge technology scour ruins and temples, hoping to find Cleopatra and perhaps Mark Antony at Taposiris Magna. Each new clue reignites hope, reminding us that Cleopatra's story is unfinished, a final chapter waiting to be revealed. Until then, her spirit remains as elusive and magnetic as her lost tomb. Cleopatra was born into Alexandria, a jewel of the ancient world, a city of dazzling intellect, brimming with knowledge and culture, but also rife with deadly intrigue and political machinations. It was a place where fortunes could be made and lost in a heartbeat. Amidst the legendary Library of Alexandria, a repository of all the world's knowledge, she received an education unmatched by any woman of her era, delving into philosophy, mathematics, oratory, and the arts. Her mind was a sponge, soaking up every bit of information. The Ptolemaic dynasty to which she belonged was infamous for its brutal power struggles, a family history stained with betrayal and murder. Growing up in this environment, Cleopatra learned early that survival required not only beauty and charm, but also cunning, strategic thinking, and unwavering resolve. Unlike her Greek ancestors, who often looked down upon the Egyptian culture, she embraced the Egyptian language, mastering at least 9 tongues, including Egyptian, Greek, and Latin, to connect with her diverse subjects and navigate the complex world of diplomacy. At 18, a mere teenager by modern standards, she inherited the throne, meant to share power according to tradition, with her younger brother and husband, the boy King Ptolemy XIII. But palace conspiracies, fueled by ambition and jealousy, soon forced her into exile. A significant setback that only steeled her ambition and ignited a fire within her to reclaim what was rightfully hers. Cleopatra's fight to reclaim her destiny and secure her place in history was just beginning. She would soon prove to the world that intellect, when combined with audacity, could not only change the fate of empires, but also reshape the course of history itself. Exiled but undaunted, Cleopatra, stripped of her throne and power, found herself in a precarious position. Yet, her spirit remained unbroken. She began the arduous task of raising an army in Syria, fueled by a burning desire to reclaim Egypt, her birthright, and restore its former glory. At this pivotal moment, as Cleopatra was preparing her forces, Julius Caesar, the celebrated Roman general, arrived in Alexandria, altering the course of history. Seeing an opportunity amidst the chaos, Cleopatra seized her chance, recognizing that an alliance with Caesar could be the key to her restoration. In a legendary act of daring, demonstrating her cunning and unwavering resolve, she devised a plan to meet with Caesar. To bypass her enemies and gain access to the Roman leader, she had herself smuggled into Caesar's chambers, concealed within a rolled-up carpet. Upon revealing herself, she captivated him not only with her beauty, but also with her sharp intelligence, political acumen, and unwavering resolve. Impressed by her charisma and strategic mind, Caesar backed her claim to the Egyptian throne. This support ignited a civil war within Egypt, pitting Cleopatra and Caesar's forces against her brothers. The conflict raged until it ended with her brother's defeat, solidifying Cleopatra's position. With Caesar's backing, Cleopatra achieved her long-sought goal, her restoration as Queen of Egypt. Their alliance was both political, securing Egypt's borders and trade routes, but it was also deeply personal, forging a bond between 2 powerful leaders. In time, Cleopatra soon bore Caesar a son, Caesarion, solidifying their legacy. With Rome's unwavering support, Cleopatra's power was secure, her reign seemingly unshakable. And Egypt's future was inextricably tied to the fortunes of the world's greatest empire, a partnership that would shape the destiny of both nations. The queen who had outwitted her enemies and defied expectations was now undeniably at the very center of global power, a force to be reckoned with. But new challenges, unforeseen betrayals, and new alliances awaited her, promising a future filled with both triumph and uncertainty. After Caesar's assassination, Cleopatra's fate hung in the balance as Rome plunged into chaos. Mark Antony, Caesar's loyal general, summoned her to Tarsus, seeking her support. Cleopatra's arrival, sailing as Venus on a golden barge, dazzled Antony and forged a legendary partnership. Together they ruled the eastern Mediterranean, blending Roman might with Egyptian wealth. Their union produced 3 children and a new vision for empire, but their ambitions alarmed Rome. Antony's public alliance with Cleopatra was seen as betrayal, setting the stage for a final catastrophic conflict. Their love and power would soon face the ultimate test. Octavian, a shrewd politician and Rome's master of propaganda, understood the power of shaping public perception. He knew that to solidify his rule, he needed to discredit his rivals, both living and dead. He embarked on a campaign to cast Cleopatra as a dangerous seductress, a foreign temptress who had bewitched Roman heroes. And Antony, once a celebrated general, as her puppet, a man blinded by love and ambition, easily manipulated by the Egyptian queen. War was declared, not officially on Antony, as that would have risked further dividing Rome, but on Cleopatra herself, framing her as an existential threat to the Roman Republic. At Actium, off the coast of Greece, their combined fleet faced Octavian's superior naval forces. The battle was fierce, but ultimately their fleet was crushed. Antony and Cleopatra, witnessing the devastation, made the fateful decision to flee the battle, abandoning their remaining forces. Their armies, demoralized and leaderless, soon surrendered, and their fate was sealed. Pursued relentlessly to Alexandria, the last bastion of their power, Antony, facing the inevitable, died by his own hand, a final act of Roman honor, or perhaps despair. Cleopatra, refusing to be paraded as a trophy in Octavian's triumph, a symbol of his conquest, chose her own death, embracing a queen's dignity in the face of defeat. The true details of her demise, whether by snake venom or other means, remain a mystery, shrouded in legend and speculation. But her final act cemented her legend, transforming her from a queen into an icon. With Cleopatra's death, the last pharaoh of Egypt, the land of the pharaohs, fell to Rome, becoming a vital province of the expanding empire. This marked the definitive ending of 3 centuries of Ptolemaic rule, a dynasty founded by one of Alexander the Great's generals. Octavian returned to Rome, where he celebrated a magnificent triumph, claiming victory and ushering in a new era of Roman dominance. But even in his moment of triumph, it was Cleopatra's story. Her legendary intellect, her undeniable power, and her ultimate act of defiance that endured, captivating imaginations for millennia. The world still waits with bated breath for the discovery of her tomb, a find that promises to unlock further secrets of her life and reign. It waits for the last secrets of the queen who, through tragedy and intrigue, became an immortal legend.